Let's play Crossout. Trombone, a Crossout video by Dangerously Incompetent. I unlocked the trombones in the Steel Gladiator season and promptly made myself one to try it out in battle. So I looked at it and think, oh, it's got low ammo count. I'll put an expanded ammo pack in, and it probably could do with a radar detector, find out where the enemies, help the missiles find their targets. Yeah. What else will go with this sort of setup in the build? Oh, the homing missiles. So that's what I did. I slapped in the pyres, and thus the Trump-Pyre was born. And then I took it into arena rating to see what we could do with it. And I had a fair bit of success with it. It's a good support vehicle. I can say that without hesitation. Not so good when things get up close and personal. But what you want to do with it is slap off the trombones, heat the enemy up like that guy, and then whack in the pyres and do loads of damage because they're all heated up. And a big explosion off the Harpy cabin. Oh, have you noticed this? The colours you use to pick the build you take into the battle. Blue, a light blue, and yellow. And it's like that in Clan Wars, and it's been like that for a while. How long has it been like that? Has Tarjan been quietly protesting Russia's actions in Ukraine all this time? Anyway, back to the battle. Oops. Now, I've got tracks. There's 4 tracks on this build, and the ones in front are upgraded for traction. And that makes it possible to roll yourself over really easy if you try doing a sharp turn at high speed. What I need to do to the build, well, what could improve that with the build is obviously pull the tracks wider apart, make the build wider, and get that centre of gravity lower down. And I've got the radar detector plonked on the bonnet of the Harpy. That's quite high up. Should probably lower that down. Oh, they got me. Although it's always useful to know where the enemy are, which radar detectors are great at, that really helps when you're trying to pick one off on their own. You don't want to go off on your own. Helps with their strategy. It doesn't actually help that much with the homing missiles, because the homing missiles require a line of sight to lock on. And these arena maps, they've got lots of dips in it. This one's got bumps on a sort of flattish pond, and the other one's just got loads and loads of dips and humps and hummocks and stuff. So it's very easy to lose your lock on just before you shoot. So the enemy just drives into the dip just as you're shooting, the lock on goes away, and you fire the missiles and you just fly off into the sunset and do no good at all. Plus, some of my pyres are mounted quite low down, and the pyres will home in on the enemy and they'll go straight to them. They won't fly over the landscape, so if the enemy drives into a dip, the missiles will just plough themselves into the ground. Again, no use to you. So I haven't been doing all that much damage with the pyres. The other thing is the trombones fire up and then they come down again, and that takes quite a while. Meanwhile, I've got my pyres in the front, so I've got to head towards the enemy, which means I close to them, and the pyres get to the enemy much faster than the trombones do if I fire them at the same time. So the enemy hasn't heated up by the time the pyres come. So I make one pass to fire the trombones and then another pass to fire the pyres, which isn't very effective in combat. It's spreading the damage out over a lot longer period of time. So the trombones are useful as a support weapon, and only 2 energy, and they heat the whole enemy build up more or less. They do an area effect. So they're very effective, very helpful, and they're helping me get wins, but I'm not doing much damage with the pyres, and you can see that reflected in the scores. I get the wins, but my score is really quite low compared to the rest of the team, isn't it? That's because I'm simply not doing the damage with the pyres, so a bit disappointing with the pyres in this build. But that's it for this Let's Play Crossout video. I'll do another couple showing you how I built it and then going a bit more in detail into some of the good points and bad points of the build in a garage inspection in a bit. See you around.